At the beginning of my personal growth journey, personal development journey, call it an awakening journey, whatever you want to call it. At the beginning, the activities that I took were activities that were celebrated by my circle, by my friends, and by everybody around me, really. And it was easy to do the things that got a lot of love in the world that also loved me. So I did things like I studied around the world at a study abroad program. I grew a ton. People thought I was cool. When I graduated, I started some companies that, with a couple of friends, I started a couple of companies that, impressed a lot of people as well. But they weren't really me. It was just steps in the right direction, right? And so a lot of us take steps in the direction of our heart, knowing that we're making progress towards it, or talking ourselves into the fact that we're making progress towards it. Like going to college, like getting a job that's going to help you get there, like building a network, and then all of a sudden you start to get to the edge of the cliff and you look over and you're like, oh shit, now all that's left to do is jump. And you talk yourself out of jumping for the longest time. And so what you want to keep doing is to just say, I want to keep doing the things that got me love before, that got me love as old me. And the longer you wait, not jumping into new you, is the longer that the truth of who you really are calcifies and dies inside of you. And the longer that you could have been transforming lives being the new version of you that you seek to really be, that you yearn to really be. And for me, what that looked like was dropping my job as a corporate recruiter and just being like, listen, I just gotta jump. Because inside of me I knew there was this heart urge that I had to go and had to jump. And I had no idea what was on the other side of that ledge. I just leapt. And as the old saying goes, leap and grow your wings on the way down. It's what you really have to do, because, and here's why it's hard, right? Not only are you losing the circle of people that gave you love for the person you used to be, but that place of truth inside of you that wants to talk to you as, yeah, hey, this is possible. I call it your soul. It's like the animating force of who you really are. It's the part of you that can generate ideas instead of just recycling old ones. That part of you typically doesn't have a voice until you consciously give your heart space to be, consciously give your voice, your truth, space to have room to say anything in your life. Then all you're going to do is just recycle old thoughts. You're just going to live what you've learned in books, and that's great if you learn stuff from books. You can learn a lot of important things in books. You can learn a lot about what's happened in the world. You can learn a lot about what there is to create in life through books, but you'll never learn who you are. And until you start trusting in who you are and taking bold, actionable steps, laying bricks, I always say, like Rome wasn't built in a day, but they were laying bricks every day. Until you start laying those bricks of who you are every day and not caring how it shows up, you'll always be stuck in the old paradigm of who you were. You'll always be stuck as the old version of yourself that used to get love, and you might still get love from everybody who keeps you small, so you won't get your own love. You won't feel your own love, and this is where a lot of people get stuck in the world of not, lack of self-love and painful situation inside of themselves, even when life outside looks so perfect, right? You've got all the money or enough money and the life that looks good and the family and all this stuff, but it's not you. And part of you is like, I'd throw this all away if I knew I could trust that little voice. Well, I'm here to tell you that you can trust the shit out of that little voice, because it knows exactly what it is that is best for you. You got to give it space, though. You got to give it a chance. Give your heart space to have a chance by creating the space in the morning for yourself to experience just what comes through. That which isn't your body and isn't your mind is your soul, is your truth. Some people call it your heart. Whatever it is, let your intuition coming from that space have a chance. I don't play in any of these words. All I do is just feel that little voice and just decide to connect my mouth to it so that I could just say what comes through. Because that little soul voice in you, it knows exactly why you're here on earth. It is your purpose. It is really you. That's why I say you are your purpose. Because who you really are is what you're meant to do. You're meant to be who you are, authentically who you are. And I think that's why a lot of humanity is really excited about authenticity. It's because it doesn't just mean being open about your problems. It means being really you, which is actually, authenticity is like a backdoor way into spirituality for all of society. And a lot of people don't realize that when you peel off the bullshit layers, all that's left is the soul of the cosmos animating through you, baby. And that, when you strengthen it, it's not floofy, it's not airy-fairy, it's very practical, and it changes lives. And it's actually just how love births through you. It's just how love gets a voice through you. So my recommendation to you is, if any of that resonates with you, make sure you build space in the morning for yourself to feel your own love. Put a pen and paper in front of you while you meditate and just experience that which has feeling inside of you and not thought. That which is just, it almost gives you images that you feel like are in your heart or like in your nervous system somehow. It doesn't make sense, and it doesn't have to. It's just an experience. So write down what the experience kind of feels like, looks like, and then if you want, start a business from that feeling, which is exactly what I've done, which is possible. But know that that feeling is all that you really crave. And stepping into that voice is what you know everything around you really asks for. And you'll recreate a new system of people around you who give you love for that voice if you trust it. If you trust what's beyond that chasm. It's not easy, but it's worth it.